Thank you. Frank Carroll, Joe McGovern, thank you for taking the time to talk to the exhibition Budgerigar Forum on this club show Sunday. Best in show. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is all very much a groundhog interview. So what has that bird won now?
Well, he won Best Young Bird in 2017.
Yeah.
And back-to-back Best in Shows here.
Fantastic.
So quite a lot of it. I think there's only other one person to do that, which is a record. So.
Super.
Does the Avon and Ruthven did the same thing with a grey as well?
Okay.
In 80 and 81, I believe it is. And that bird was also Best Young Bird. So we've repeated. Galib Al Nasser has given me that today. Because we thought what our grey has done is a bit of a record, but Avon and Ruthven did exactly the same feat all those years ago. So we've just repeated it with our grey.
So has that bird bred since we last spoke in the last 12 months?
He has 15 babies over 3 rounds.
With the same hen or?
With the same hen, and his young grey, one of his young greys that is here and won the CC for young grey today, and he's 3rd champion young bird in show.
Super. So it seems everything you guys touch at the minute. I know you've worked really hard over many years, but at the moment you're flying high. I hear a lot of stories of people breed good birds and they'll say I bred one and that might have died, but this bird has bred so well for you.
Our studded birds, as good as the show birds are, they breed. The line is prolific in the sense they're great show birds, as you can see, but they also breed. A lot of people breed birds that maybe a wee bit over the top, and that's not a criticism, because we all like to see them as well. But when they're a bit over the top with the feather, that's when you run into difficulty breeding them. We kind of try to breed a bird which has a medium feather and pair the medium feathered birds together to produce the perfect show bird. That's the theory, and that's typical of the sort of birds you see at the show today.
And it's working for you.
It works clearly.
And they've got a good diet as well.
Yeah.
Put it down
A lot of it is the diet and how you look after them. You've got to put the groundwork in.
If we do have buff feathered birds, we look for a yellow feathered hen. And in studs like ours, they're sometimes not that easy to find because we carry, as you can imagine, mostly intermediate feather. But best to the yellow feathered hen will balance the feather up again.
That's brilliant. And I mean, Carol, you mentioned about the feeding there. There's been a lot sort of written recently about, as well as vegetables, but fruit in the diet. What do you feed your birds fruit? Maybe lemons or nothing? Just purely vegetables.
Corn on the cob, they love that. Beetroots, cress, watercress, go mad for that.
All in the soft food or separately?
No, play it in the fights. They play with the corn on the cob when it's all eaten. But the cress, before you put it out, you let it all.
Yeah.
You know.
They're the 3 main vegetables
that we give them.
Or broccoli. We give them
broccoli. Oh, broccoli too.
The sweet corns.
Oh, yeah. That's the one.
And also as well, because most of the questions we get on the forum from I was going to say beginners, but novices now and juniors is sometimes they may buy a lesser bird from a good line. At your level, if that grey breeds something that's perhaps not to your standard, it's in the sales cage. If you had a spare cage, do you believe in using lesser birds from the best pairs, or when you cull back, do you just let any that are visually good go?
We probably have had to do that in years past, but because the stud is so strong and we've got numbers today, we have strong numbers in most of the colours. We probably don't use many of the lesser birds, as you call them. They go with the sale birds and off they go.
But getting back
but as a beginner though,
as a beginner, say it's all about that family line. So say he's bred 15 chicks this year, you're going to have a ranking from 1 to 15 in quality. So say the 14 and 15 bird you might not use, but they do have the potential to throw the better birds, the super birds, because it's in their blood.
So if you are a beginner and you're looking to buy birds,
yeah,
is the bird you want the worst one for the best pair, or?
No, not necessarily, because obviously we're not going to sell the middle of the road one, the ones that we want to keep. It's the lesser ones, it's their gamble to take on it, but history
You're
shows
quite
that
fair
it
with the
does
beginners,
prove that it works. So
I like to help beginners out.
yeah.
Do you have many beginners sort of keep coming back to you? And
I've had several beginners, and well, they're novices now,
Yeah.
most of them.
Yeah.
We don't call them beginners now.
yeah, sorry.
But
Old habits.
I've had several of them come to me today and say they bought the birds from just our normal sale flights, and they're breeding best young bird and CC awards off them. And they've just come from our, what we call our sale flights.
It's in the blood.
Yes.
And that must be lovely to hear as well, other people having success with
Oh,
your bloodlines as well.
definitely.
In terms of calcium and vitamin D, how important is that in your feeding regime, and how do you put it into the birds?
Well, calcium basically is fed with calcium blocks called fish, and we feed milk, mineralised tonic grit and charcoal. When the birds are breeding particularly, they're all separately fed. I don't believe in putting calcium liquids in water, because I think you're overdoing it and then you can lead to hard eggs. Calcium is a thing I'm careful of. If the birds want it, it's there in trays with the items I've just explained. If you put it in the water, you're force feeding calcium, which is not a good thing in water. Anything you put in water, they've got to drink water, haven't they? So you're overfeeding calcium. And I've had several breeders say to me, would you use calcium liquid in water? I said, never. Not for me.
You've never tried it, so. And again,
We don't have soft-shelled eggs, so we don't need it, do we?
no, fair dues.
If you've got a problem with soft-shelled eggs, yes. But they've probably got soft-shelled eggs because they're not using the other harder minerals on the market, which are there, which are the things we've used since we were beginners. We've all used them, don't we? And they're a more natural product. Calcium in a liquid is a made-up form of whatever way they're producing it. So you wouldn't know if it's in the wrong level strength-wise anyway, because they need calcium when they need it.
And do you think the birds, they know when they need something, they'll go to it?
It's like a human. You have cravings. Would you love to do the same thing? Like we let the birds out into the external flights, and each round, every outside flight, we've got limestone bricks, and they all attack the limestone bricks. You don't know if it's the shark in the beak or there's something in the limestone that they require, because they all love like pecking at it.
We use these
Himalayan box salt we got the idea from Richard and Mike Underlay, so that's another intake that they go to. They're searching for something, like you said, to get into their diet. Some won't touch it, some go there every day.
And with your pairings, I'm not sure we touched on this last year, but what's your favourite pairing? Do you go really close, or do you try and keep away from?
But we are line breeders, not inbreeders, and some people, you have to explain that. It might seem obvious to you, but some people, beginners, novices, they need to understand the difference. Line breeding is where you don't pair related birds, which is what we do, and inbreeding is where you do pair related. We do not pair related birds
That comes
whatsoever.
down to cousins, even second cousins. We don't even.
You don't go there.
We don't go
We
there.
don't do any of that.
It might happen once every blue moon, but that second cousin, it's definitely not cousin, auntie, uncle, grandparents, whatever. They're totally separate line breeds.
So how many lines have you got to try and avoid doing that?
That's a lot. A lot. Yeah, it comes in from different variety colours. Outcrosses, you need outcrosses in your stud regularly, especially in small studs, because say if you've only got 100, 200 birds, you're eventually going to get close.
You just do by default, don't you? or
Yeah,
something?
right, exactly.
And in terms of sort of CCs here today, what else have you won? Can you share with us? What's the list?
Well, we've got the second and third and fifth and sixth champion young bird.
Yeah.
I've got many opposite sex awards besides the CC winners. So so that's not a bad return. We've got, as you say, you've already pointed out, we've got 12 CCs many opposite sex awards as well.
Fantastic. And are there any birds here that perhaps you haven't got out, or that you've got real hopes for that have done well here today that we can look
I
out
mean,
for?
some have won today, but that's only because we bought them, because the ones we would have chosen, there's something wrong with them. You know, they've got blood on their heads, and they're second choices, and they've still done perfect, really, really good. You know,
Several of the best young birds we've bred this year were entered for the show, but we had to leave them at home due to poor condition, pen feathers, etc. We just couldn't bring them. We'd have loved to have brought them because they're the ones that's been winning the Young Bird Awards in the northwest area. So some people come up to me saying, where's this bird, where's that bird, because they were expecting to see them here winning the prizes. But we couldn't bring them due to just due to lack of condition.
It was last weekend or the weekend before. The young birds have been in good condition, but the adults wouldn't have been in good condition. So
it's a hard thing to time. As Joe
very
said,
difficult.
last week some of those birds I've just mentioned could have been here, but that week further on they've gone from being really good feather in the cap to developing pen feathers under the cap, and then a week later then they start to burst under the cap. I can think of several birds that have done that to us in the last week or so.
And we've asked, I mean, there's been a lot of talk this year just around the hall about whether the shows, I know we're a week earlier than we should have been through an event happening here next week, but are we too early or too late for the club show, would you say?
No, I think so.
Our way of going with the club show is we start to catch the young birds for the show 6 weeks before the show, and we spray regularly, every other day at least. So it's a timing thing of 6 weeks, no matter when you choose to have the show. You will develop the birds into condition. Now what happens is, with certain birds, they will peak in really good condition after being sprayed for 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Other birds won't peak till 6 weeks, like our grey who's won best in show. Last week, he wasn't in the same condition as he is today. We could see he's coming, but this weekend he's bang on. And it's a 6 week period. We develop the bird's condition over a period of 6 weeks, no matter when that 6 weeks is.
So you think you can bring the feather condition on and
bring the feather condition
on by spray?
Yourself. You bring it on yourself. It's not the birds, it's you working with the birds brings that condition on through the way you spray them. We use I can emphasise Johnson's shampoo, can I?
Yeah, big boy range, yeah.
That'll be
I'm sure they won't complain.
Maybe I'll get a few free bottles of
See what they can ask.
Well, it is Johnson's shampoo in lukewarm water, generally.
Plume spray, Johnson's plume spray, it's called. It's not baby shampoo, it's plume spray.
Yeah, but that's right, I used to use the baby shampoo.
So again, it's a case of look at that time as well, because you can't predict how that bird is going to molt out. It can be a change in the weather, it can be a change of scenery, it can just get uncomfortable, it'll just change.
It just brings the molt.
Yeah, it's just natural, you can't avoid it sometimes.
Because I know that back in the old days, the molt was always October.
Yeah.
Is that completely gone, do you think, now? The birds just molt whenever, once their feather cycle finished, and you can control that? Or
I think what used to happen in the October, because we always used to pair the birds up in the November, I think what caused that to happen quite often was people would adjust the lighting. They put the lights off so the birds slept more and rested. That's what I think would cause the molt to come on. And then they would peak for breeding condition come the sort of middle or end of November. That was our old way of doing things. That way is gone. We will peak the birds for breeding after the club show. We will put them in the flights, let them enjoy themselves for 4 weeks, and then we will start to pair them up again. The ones that's in condition, of course, the ones that are fighting fit. If they're not fighting fit, they stay in the flights.
And I think the last question, because I think they're going to want to probably give you some trophies in a minute out in the hall. With the grey, can you get it back for a 4th year, do you think, or is that?
No problem. No, he tends to keep fit.
Seems to know when there's a show coming.
He had a stage during the year where he actually won well, but come back to life, and there he is.
And he just doesn't like the floor. That's why he's always on the pitch. Doesn't like the floor.
His father's a 16 ring, okay, because he's the year before him, and he is still a wonderful bird in the flight. He's got both tails, all his flights. He could come here, and honestly, he could actually still win the CC. He is that good. And this line of birds, they keep their feather, and that's the important part.
The right shape. You need to keep the shape. If you're going too buff, then you're going to cause problems futuristically for the breeding purposes. Like Grey's bred 31 chicks in the last 2 years. There'll be other birds, even our shed stock birds, they'll breed maybe 5 a year. So you've got to balance it out for your own benefit as well as not going overboard.
We've had our best breeding season this year.
Really, can I ask how many you've bred, or was that?
Yeah, no, we've bred 600, we've grown 600, and we've just reordered another 40. We've got 3 pairs left, and then you have your late breds because you pair up, and some of them breed before the new rings turn up, so you need to be prepared for that. So, a super year through different additives we brought into the feeding regime, help from Richard and Michael Miller. That's helped a lot, and Kevin Ball, his AB Smart stuff. He's used a lot of his products this year. So.
Anyone in particular can I ask?
Bree Plus Pro, fertility booster.
Yeah, and feather support booster.
Yeah.
There's one for feather, one's pink and one's white.
Yeah, and then we have like
the Bree Plus Pro is a growth with additives to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's their favourite.
Yeah.
And we
put
feed
that
in finger draws.
Yeah.
All year?
All year. When the birds are breeding, it's in finger draws. Every night we replenish it, and the powders go into the soft food.
And that's made a big difference as well.
Well, yeah, because we bred 430, no 460 last year, and now we're struggling to. We have to order more rings, which we've never bred over 500.
Another point I'd like to make about our success this year is also that we do not have a problem with any feather pluckers. We have no feather plucking at all in our birds, in our hens. We have no feather plucking.
So we put that down to feed regime. So you're not something's been added to the feed, which we can't put a finger on because we've added so many. Something has stopped feather plucking.
We can't put it down to any particular product, so we're just going to give them all in this
keep going
because we're not sure which one is big. But we were destroyed with feather plucking 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We had to split pairs left, right and centre because of feather plucking. And we don't know what was caused. So we've tried these different methods of feeding with the help of Mike and Kevin Bore's juices. And it's all going in this bowl with our growths and our germination soft food.
Yeah.
And we have sweet corn from a can that goes in.
So it goes back to the point of the birds trying to find their own resources in a sense. Something is in that feed that obviously doesn't stress them out while they're in the nest box, because the reason why they feather pluck is because they're stressed or they're getting tired, but the additive is eliminated that.
We have put this on the website.
Yeah.
Anyone who wants to view the website
Add me on Facebook
and view the Facebook, they can view all these products we've been using, and hopefully they won't have any feather plucking either, because it's been fantastic for us. I used to have to kill certain babies off, they were that ruined with feather plucking. I have had to do that this year and most of last year, since we started using these products.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
And thank you for talking to us as well. It's been so insightful. You can see I'm just I'm fascinated, and it's been a real learning curve, and I know everyone who will watch this will undoubtedly feel the same. Thank you very much, the three of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And probably see you next year. Cheers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.